holy. We are.
Good morning, CSL Parker. Stand if you are able. I heard that this one was a popular number last week. Yeah. Here we go. I'm open. Woo!
One more quick.
I am open. I am open. I am open. I am open to receive the love in you and me. I am open. I am open. I am open to receive the love in you and me. Sing it again. I am open. You look pretty good. Here we go. I am open. I am open. I am open. I am open to receive the love in you and me. I am open. I am open. I am open. I am open to receive the love in you and me. Let's know it for each other. You are open. Oh, you are open. You got it. You are open. You are open to receive the love in you and me. You are open. You are open to receive the love in you and me. We are open. We are open, we are open, we are open to receive the love in you and me. We are open, we are open, we are open to receive the love in you and me. Now receive that love to and from each other. Say hi with a handshake. Oh, we are.
Morning.
Come on.
I am Reverend David Howard.
My, how you've changed, but not so.
I have morphed into Dr. Vern Martin, and Reverend David called me yesterday morning and said, I don't feel that great. I think we need to have a pinch hitter, so you are blessed to have me today. So having had that much time to prepare, let me tell you,
That's the best.
I have 3 announcements to make this morning. One is that you see this beautiful altar that Pam prepared? Well, that gets done every week, and we're looking for someone to do that in February, which includes Valentine's Day, so whoever does it should have a blast with it. So if you're willing to do that, where's Kenny? Kenny, would you raise your hand? Please see Kenny. I know you have a lot of fun doing it, and we always have the tables out here and ready for you, so you'll be good to go. Now, there is a new class coming in February taught by Reverend David. It is called Consciousness and the Creative Process. And Reverend David and Joe Albert will be co-facilitators for that. And some people tell me they don't really like Troward. I can't understand it. You know, he uses one sentence and writes a book with it. And the thing about Judge Troward is that he gave us one of the greatest gifts we could have. And in this class, you will get to uncover and discover some of the great gifts of his writings. And the power of our prayer resides in the fact that we have the law, which he wrote about extensively. I have flyers that I printed up. They'll be on the education table over there, and Joe Albers is here today if you have any questions about the class. Okay, next, Ann Grove. Please come forward. Ann has an exciting announcement for us. Where's the microphone? Oh, there it is.
Thank you. Okay, I heard there's a pretty important football game this afternoon. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then I heard there's another one in 2 weeks. Is that right? So a lot of us are going to have letdown at the end of football season. Maybe not.
Celebration.
Well, that too. We'll be divided, whatever. So during football games, a lot of people eat a lot of food. I heard that too. Great. If you can say football, if you can eat food, I have the perfect February solution for you. We are resuming something that was pre-COVID called metaphysical munchers. You laugh, but it was so awesome. There's a sign-up sheet, 2 of them, at the education table. Let me tell you, it is educational. You learn a lot about the group you eat with. But if you sign up, we divide into groups of approximately 6 people, 3 couples, singles thrown in here and there, and then each group is responsible. I'll name a chairperson to start the first, to have the people in their group and share a meal with them. It could be a meal at home, it could be a meal at a restaurant, it could be a picnic, it could be breakfast. This is nothing fancy. Each group will decide their own parameters, and each host will decide what they want to do. So, sign up for Metaphysical Munchers. Whatever group you're in, we're going to make it work. There's a question of dietary preferences. It is so awesome. The really bad news about Metaphysical Munchers, I was in his group last time. See how we bonded? Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I want to invite Leslie McKinnon, one of our practitioners, to do our reading today. Thank you.
Knowing that today's theme is feeling good.
Yay!
If you don't have the book Creative Ideas by Ernest Holmes, I recommend that you get it. It is one that when I'm having a bad day, I hold it between my hands and focus, and then open it up to whatever it opens to, and it is always exactly perfect. Which is what happened when I was looking for a reading for today. The gladness of living. We are the children of God, Romans 8:16. I'm going to segue here just a little bit. Emerson said that love is our highest word and synonymous for God. So through this reading, I will use love in place of God in a few places, just so that you're aware. Affirmative prayer means that we clear the mind of all doubt and fear and turn in faith to the great giver of life. It means that we become aware of the presence of God within and around us, here and now. It means that we affirm this presence and accept it quietly, calmly, and peacefully, in all of its fullness. We let go of every anxious thought, surrender every doubt and fear. We look out upon the world and say that it is our world. It is a good world because it is love's world. In this knowledge, we receive confidence and inspiration from the source of all life, and divine love guides our every action. I now accept the domain which love has given. I accept the life which Spirit has implanted within me. And this life reaches out to everything around me in joy and gladness. gladness with the blessed assurance that all is well. I affirm that there is nothing that can hinder me from entering into the fullness and completeness of my own self-expression and perfection of being. In this I have faith, a conviction, and assurance that cannot be moved. For as a child of love, I am established in and surrounded by love. Only joy, happiness, and gladness fill all the days of my life.
We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me. Open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love lives in me. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, you are holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy. You are holy. You are holy.
You and I are holy indeed. We stand on sacred ground. We contain within ourselves the very Christ nature itself. And as we contain this Christ nature, it alters our vision that we see the Christ in all life, in our families, in our friends, in those that don't seem like our friends. We still see the eyes of the Christ looking back at us in all life, in all things. The nature of feeling good is the nature of knowing who we really are in our life on this planet. So as we care for the Christ within, we care for those around us, and we take care of our planet, of all other life. And in our giving, we receive the bounty of the Christ magnified many times over. I know for each of us as we enter into the fullness of this service, that we open our hearts, we open our minds, we open our vision to greater and greater vistas of that which we see, that which we perceive, that which we take in through our hearts. I bless the light in each of us. Let's know that the Christ is as close as our very breath. And we use the Christ as our barometer of feeling good. And so it is.
And so it is.
We fit together like puzzle pieces. Your groove and mine is oh so sweet. We make a crazy maze, then pull it off piece by piece. Put it back together, a new story called forever. It's not a map of the world, but it could be something better. You
We are so blessed to have the CSO Barton Band. Laura, Lisa, Alan, and in our sound team, DJ and Dappa backing up the sound. It just makes it so perfect. Reverend David was feeling pretty bad about not being here today, and so it was a tough choice for him, but I think a right one. Needs to take care of himself. I want to begin, our topic is feeling good, which is so cool. You know, we've been looking at this whole month on Grand Rising with the dawn of a new day, a new life, and now feeling good. And I want to begin with a quote from Ernest Holmes in the book, This Thing Called You, one of my favorites. And what he says is, only as we live affirmatively can we be happy. And when I read that, I thought, oh yeah, that's nice. Ernest says all these wonderful things. And then I said, oh, I'll put it to test in my life. Not so easy. Because me setting my intention to live affirmatively caused me to look and see, how was I living my life affirmatively, and I found out I wasn't so much. Because I was brought up in a family where we loved to complain. And we loved to judge the relatives, and we loved to pick apart others. And so, you know, those life habits get to be a part of us, and then we go on autopilot with that, don't we? Mm-hmm. And so, today I want to help all of us take a look at that and say, how can I climb out of this place where I've been and really, genuinely feel good? And in my speed reading, to get caught up for this morning, I read the Four Agreements. And I didn't read the agreements. I read the preface. And in the preface, Don Ruiz talks about how you and I got domesticated. And he said, it's just like with our pets and things like that. We got domesticated through, well, as I read through it, I tried to stand back and take a look, and I thought, what was the message? What was behind domestication? And it seemed like a lot of it was fear-based. We need to control these upcoming generations so they behave. And if they can't behave, we'll give them the 10 Commandments, and we will give them repeated messages over and over about how they should behave. And there are going to be some of those youngsters that don't get it the first time. Can you relate? And so we're going to have to repeat it over and over and over again. I remember being in 8th grade Catholic school. We were on our 3rd nun of the year, and some of us in the class were pretty proud of the fact we went through nuns that rapidly. And I remember this one nun, the last nun that came in, I know it's hard to believe, but I had a smart mouth. And so I just had an attitude with her. And so she said, well, you know what you need to do? You need to write. I will listen the first time. I want you to write it 200 times. I said, well, that's fine. Give it to me. Double it if you want. She said, okay, double it. I said, why don't you double it again? So we were at 800. And I said, why don't you just make it 1,000?
Oh, God.
Now, I want to tell you something. There's a gift in everything. You know those number 2 yellow pencils that we use? I learned to hold 5 of those at one time. And so I wrote my rules just like this. Yes, it does take more than once for some of us. The domestication process was very thorough. It began when we just first got out of the womb. We got all those messages, that's good, that's not so good. Our parents, our teachers, our clergy, we got these repeated messages, did we not, about the proper way to behave. But not only was it the way to behave, it was the way to think. Although, as I look back on it, I don't know if it was so much about how to think, but what not to think. Well, you see, the issue then becomes a lifetime of this, and then we get into a rut, we get into a routine, we get into habits, don't we? And without thinking, we stay in those patterns just like the grooves. Do you all know what a vinyl record is? It's like the grooves in those records. That needle gets in there, and what the neuroscientists tell us is that we do something long enough, we create a groove in those little neurons in our brain, and we stop thinking. And we do it without even questioning it anymore. And I know sometimes in my life, I'll say something or think something, and I'll suddenly ask myself, wait a minute, whose voice was that? And so it means that one of the things we can do is wake up, become aware, think. Critical thinking is a gift. And questioning is a gift. Well, that's just one part of this. So what we have in a positive vein so far is thinking affirmatively creates happiness. That means seeing the best of things rather than being fear-based and worrying about what might happen if. What I notice is that in life, most of the things we worry about don't ever happen anyway. And consider this notion. What if worry is a prayer against ourselves?
Amen.
And in our prayer class right now, which is a very exciting class, yesterday one of the students said, you know, I think everything we do in our thoughts should prepare us for our future. Made a lot of sense to me. Now, the second topic I want to bring up under this whole notion of feeling good, we're going to get there, just stay with me, is that I think we need to give up the notion that we are praying to Santa Claus. Follow me. Sometimes we have our prayer set up, so I go, nomini, 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 and I think something's going to bring it on a sleigh and drop it in my being somewhere. Well, Ernest Holmes also says that if you really want something in your life, you must first become it. And the way I become it is that I do my deep inner work. You know, it's almost like the butterfly in the cocoon stage where it's morphing in there and in that gooey mess. Out of that, one day comes this beautiful butterfly. I think our prayers are somewhat like that, where we go inside and we ask to become that which we're praying for. Ernest Holmes says, if you want love, more love in your life, you must become love. You see, the journey we're on is not always easy. And we've been accused in religious science of being a religion of responsibility. That responsibility implying that if I want change in the world, I must become that very change that I seek. Well, for some of us, then, what that implies is that I must die to the lesser to take on my greater nature. What do I die to? Well, let's make a list. You know, we've been doing this in the prayer class, but I must give up judgments, being right, gossiping, implying that the problem is out there somewhere. It certainly isn't my responsibility that we have division in this country. It's got to be those people. You know that anonymous those? So if I want to then experience the goodness of life, I must do my own inner work. Now I have some word pairs I want to give all of you. Let me find them. Here's a few. As I give you the word pairs, decide which word you want to associate with, because as we pick the things we want to associate with, I used this quote yesterday and I've tried to remember it now. It's like what we think about, what we thank about, we bring about. And just as I then must decide, well, how do I want to create feeling good? Well, let's look at these word pairs. Do I align more with getting or giving? How about judging or loving? Resenting or accepting? Here's my favorite. Whining or gratitude? Another one is, I should do that. And should has a whole train of memories behind it. How many times we've been told we should? Or do I choose? When I follow my should, I am being a victim of my own life. When I choose, I take dominion. it seems to me then that our vocabulary is critical for us to create a world where we feel good. What kind of things can I let go of to enter the new level of life that I want to be? So in your own mind now, I invite you to say, what part of me have I been carrying along, consciously or unconsciously, that no longer serves my highest good? I'll share with you that one of the ones I had for way too many years was I always had to be right. I took great delight in being right. Until I realized how much it cost me to be right all the time. Because if I was right, what were you? Judgment, right? And so the invitation is just do a gentle self-inventory of what do you no longer want to carry with you. And what I found in my life is I gave up the things that really didn't support me any longer. I began to automatically clean up the rest of my life. My closets are now clean. I take pride in my dwelling. I take care of myself. So feeling good, it seems to me, means that you and I are in complete alignment with our Christ nature. And everything that we think and say and do supports our true essence, our true being. And what will happen eventually is I set my new intentions now. So pick one. And one of the things that I suggest is that we pick an attribute that we've given to the divine, to the nature of love of God. So I pick peace. And you know what? If there's going to be peace on earth, it's not going to be the world leaders that do it automatically. It has to begin with every one of us. The same is true of love. Well, I could sure wish that you'd be more loving. Do you think that's going to change anything? I can judge you for not being as loving as you could be. Makes no difference. We really cannot change another, so why don't we this morning say, I'm going to stay home in this being and manage this part of the world. And when I heal myself, I then gain new eyes to look out at you. And as I reveal my own Christ nature, I reveal your Christ nature. Is it always easy? No. Changing old habits is not easy. I like what Ernest Holmes says in this thing called You, page 111. He says, you know, whether you're 10 years old or 100, prepare to live, not to die. So in preparing to live, as we have a culmination of the January topics of Grand Rising, let's take a look and see, how do I transform this being so that I am a cleaner, pure vessel of spirit? That because of my good vibrations, I then send those vibrations out to the world just by being that higher vibrational rate. I read this from David Hopkins' Power versus Force. He said, the higher our level of consciousness, the higher our vibration, the higher the rate of happiness. And that happiness then leads us all the way around the circle back to feeling good. So I want to summarize what I've said, and that summary would go something like, as we live affirmatively, only then can we really be happy. As we heal ourselves, we heal the world. We don't heal the world by wishing it were better. My prayers now are, well, for peace on earth, but for peace in the hearts of the world leaders, and for peace in my heart. Because as I experience peace here, I will experience it everywhere, right? So that's our journey of feeling good. Our journey that leads us to good vibrations.
Good vibrations. Good vibrations. Good vibrations.
Thank you, CSO band. That's so perfect. I just sprung that on them this morning. Let's go within now. And as we sink into our open hearts, let's discover that place where we know that our Christ resides, where all is perfect. All is perfect in this inner kingdom. All is perfect in our world because we say it is so. To that place where we envision a world that works for everyone. A world that works for us indeed. A world where we claim our good and bless others with the same, and where we know that in our heart of hearts we feel good because from the inside out we create our world the way we desire it to be. So let's this day decide to create and live in the kingdom of heaven, in the kingdom of grace, and all things good. And so it is.
And so it is.
It's our time now for the offering. So it's our chance to give back. Our ushers are grabbing the baskets. And in this time, I'd like to just invite you to hold whatever offering you're giving in your hand next to your hearts. And if you give electronically, still do the same thing and know that what you give is absolutely given in love. And therefore know that love will be returned to you multiplied many times over. is our money, our finances are simply energy in motion. So we put our gifts into motion in this moment. Okay.
You and me, we once believed it was a good thing, yeah. Then one by one, we came undone, like we dimmed the sun. I wanna see that now isn't now. We wanna be. Oh, it's all on the table. We are shakable and sometimes feel breakable, but always. We are always indestructible. Us and them take the attention, though we lost direction. And we got a hold on what we think we know. Still don't get too close. I wanna see that now isn't now. We wanna be. Oh, it's all on the table. We are shakable and sometimes feel breakable, but always. We are always indestructible. Rattle the walls, lean in and fall, count to 10, and try again. Oh, we can try again. Oh, and I wanna see that now isn't town. We wanna be. Oh, it's all on the table. We are indestructible. We are indestructible. Our hearts, our spirit, oh, we are indestructible. Sometimes breakable. We are indestructible.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Okay, here comes Catherine with our offerings for today. Let's just know that these offerings are good vibrations. And I thank each of you for giving from your heart so beautifully, as it supports CSL Parker and the entire broader metropolitan area and all those that are in some kind of special need. I bless them as they receive too. So saying thank you, thank you, thank you, and so it is.
So it is.
Shall we sing? Blessed always, blessed always, are the arms
Oh, wow. So let's know this week that we take our energy, our positive energy out into the world and be the change that we seek. And give love wherever you are. Be willing to let go of whatever no longer serves your highest and best good. And I know for each of us, we are blessed with every step on our journey. And so it is.
I am open. I am open. Have a great Sunday, everyone. I am open to receive the love of you and me. I am open. I am open. I am open to receive the love in you and oh, we are open. We are open to receive the love in you and me. We are open. We are open. We are open to receive the love in you and me. The love in you and me.
Yes.
Happy Sunday.